He never missed a shot. But what shook me wasn't his aim. It was the classified tattoo on his arm. The same one I saw once in a file stamped top secret. Destroy after reading. That man should have been dead 30 years ago. Shooting range was always quiet on weekday mornings. Just the way I liked it. Peaceful. Controlled. Predictable. That morning, I was prepping for my third qualification test. My hands were steady. I knew the routine. But there was someone new in lane 6. An old man. Gray hair, tucked under a faded cap, long-sleeved flannel, worn jeans. He didn't look like much. In fact, he looked like he should have been on a park. Bench feeding pigeons, not loading a Colt 1911 with practiced precision. But there was something about him. Something that didn't fit. His stance. Perfect. Eyes calm. Calculating. And the way he handled that gun. Smooth, almost graceful. Like it was an extension of him. Like he'd been doing this long before I was even born. Bang. 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 Each. Shot rang out. Tight clusters forming on the paper silhouette. I paused my own session to watch him. The instructors didn't interrupt. They kept their distance, like they already knew not to bother him. I moved one lane over, curious. Then I saw it. As he reached down to reload. The sleeve of his flannel rose just enough to reveal a tattoo on his forearm. It was small but sharp. Ink faded but unmistakable. A black trident piercing a coiled serpent. With 2 letters below it, -RZ. My blood ran cold. That wasn't just a symbol. That was the insignia of Revenant. Zero, a rogue Black Ops unit that was erased from all military records after a botched mission in 1994. Officially, it didn't exist. Unofficially, every SEAL who knew about it called it the most cursed operation in U.S. history. Everyone on that mission died. Or so we were told. I stepped closer. "Excuse me, sir," I said, half expecting him to ignore me. He didn't. He turned, slow and deliberate, and looked at me. His eyes weren't old. They were sharp, still and observant. Eyes that had seen things most of us couldn't imagine. "You're staring at my arm," he said. His voice was low, steady, not unkind. I recognized that tattoo. He looked at me for a long moment. Then he spoke again. "You ever heard of Operation Ice Garden?" My breath caught. "They said it was a myth. A failure." He smiled, but not the happy kind. It was the kind of smile people wear when they've seen too many die. "They lied," he said. Then, without warning, he unloaded his weapon, placed it down, and motioned for me to follow him. I hesitated, but I followed, out back behind the range. There was a rusted bench under the shade of a dying tree. He sat. I stood. "You know what happens when you complete a mission your government didn't authorize?" he asked. I shook my head. "They kill you, or at least make the world think they did." He took off his cap. There was a scar running down his scalp, faint, but deep. I was buried in an unmarked grave, East Serbia, 29 years old. Problem is, I woke up 3 days later. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. There were 5 of us left after the ambush, he continued. 1 shot himself, 1 bled out, 2 froze to death. I crawled into a cave with a shattered leg, half conscious. Thought I'd die there, but I didn't. His hands trembled slightly now. Not from fear but memory. They didn't come for U.S., not even a drone flyover. We were disposable. So I stopped being theirs, changed my name, moved through countries like a ghost, until the world forgot. I was stunned. But why come here? Why shoot? He looked up at me and his eyes glistened not from weakness, but from something deeper. Because this is the only place I still feel like myself. The only place I don't hear the screaming. For a moment, the silence between us felt heavier than any bullet ever fired. "Why did you show me that tattoo?" I finally asked. He chuckled softly. "I didn't. You saw it because you were meant to." Then he pulled something from his pocket, a dog tag. Scratched, bent. He handed it to me, etched on the back were the words, "Never recorded." Never returned. Revenant Zero. I whispered. He nodded. And you, Seal? What are you? Running from? I couldn't answer. Because in that moment, I realized something. This ghost had lived with betrayal, silence, and pain that most of us couldn't survive. And yet, here he was, not broken, not angry, just alone. Then he stood. You'll hear rumors about me after today. Let them talk. But if they come looking, you never saw me. He walked away, just like that. And I never saw him again. But every time I lift a rifle, I remember that look in his eyes, the kind only a man who'd been buried by his own country could wear. And sometimes, late at night, I wonder how many more like him are out there, quiet, unnoticed, forgotten by history, but still breathing, still watching. Still shooting. How did this story make you feel? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a new video.